What's going on today? We got a special interview for you guys. This is a new investor who I've met recently, and he's had some trouble with crypto, and he's got some opinions on crypto in just getting started. His name is Brian Trippe, and he runs a successful real estate investing company and educational course. And I've just got him on here just to talk us through. Say, hey, so what are the anxieties of someone who's skeptical about crypto, someone who's not fully in or not fully convinced? And we just want to have that kind of dialogue. If you guys want to chime in and answer in the questions in the comments below, that would be fantastic. But I want to welcome Brian Trippe to the hot seat. Brian, what's going on?
What's going on, Aaron? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just it's a bloody day in the crypto markets, and if you're looking from the outside in, you're seeing how volatile crypto is. It's going up, it's going down. It's like green, it's red. It's making millionaires. It's making people bankrupt. It's kind of crazy, and we're gonna get all into that. But I want to let people know who you are. Maybe Brian, if you could give us a little bit of about your background into like investing and professionally what you do, and then some of your thoughts into crypto. But first, your background.
Yeah, well, thank you again, Aaron, for the opportunity to come on your show. Really do appreciate you. I got my start in real estate in 2012, started learning more about it. In 2014, I started a wholesaling company. Wholesaling real estate is where it sounds exactly what it is. It's just you could wholesale anything, but it's buying low and selling it for higher and just making that middleman profit. And so I did that for really full time for about 5-6 years until I kind of transitioned more. My background is, former Division I college basketball coach, former teacher, college professor. So I always knew I wanted to teach. I have that in my blood,
Hmm.
but you can't really make any money with teaching. so
Yeah.
so I tried to find something else. I think that's like a lot of people's journey. We try to find something else, almost like a side hustle. And for me, it
Hmm.
was real estate. And I made $10,000 on my first deal. I'd never made that kind of money in one chunk
Wow.
before ever. And this is back in 2012, right when I got started. I was
Uh-huh.
like, man, as a GA or as a low level assistant coach at Division One, even Division One, I was not making that much money at all. And a lot of
That's
times you just
awesome.
kind of have to pay your dues. And a lot of times you don't make anything.
Hmm.
So making that kind of money in one chunk really changed my mindset more than anything. And it really kind of took me down the path of real estate. My background is I came from nothing and kind of had to build that up. And I never really wanted to wholesale. I never really wanted to do that aspect of real estate. I wanted to invest. I wanted to buy property. I wanted to own property and be a landlord and have a lot of rental property. And I did that, bought a lot of property, was very successful doing that for a long period of time. And today I spend a lot of my time teaching other people how to do that, how
That's
to
awesome.
invest their money, where to invest their money, what is a good investment, what's a good investment look like, what's a cash flowing market versus an appreciating or growth market.
Hmm.
What are the differences between the two? And I've just kind of like you've gone all in with crypto. I went all in with real estate just because I feel like it's a hard asset. It's a
Hmm.
tangible thing. I can force the appreciate. I can force it to be worth more money just by fixing things, just by making it better.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with a stock. You can't do that with cryptocurrency. You
No.
can't do that really with anything else.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of fell in love with real estate. It's a hard asset. There's something tangible behind it. There's nothing else that you can have that has the lending power that real estate has. Like you can literally get into a piece of real estate with nothing down. You can
Right.
literally buy a piece of real estate with nothing. And just you can't really do that with any other asset class. So that's really why I kind of fell in love with that. And you start talking about cryptocurrency and all this stuff, it's just like in my mind, like just kind of explodes. I'm super conservative when it
Yeah.
comes to investing, and it just never has really seemed like it's the right play for me because I don't know what it's gonna do. But
Right. Right.
but that's kind of my background, Aaron. Just really from a real estate standpoint, for sure.
I love it. I love it. I actually love that you're from the real estate background. I know a lot of people who that's where they made their wealth and their living and their income. Maybe talk to us about your reservations or your understanding right now of crypto. Maybe that's better. Your understanding of what crypto is, and just your perception on crypto right now.
Yeah, and I think that we need to. I'm glad you're starting there because like I know almost nothing.
Okay.
Okay. The only thing I really, and this is probably perception. I think it comes back really to fear. People are typically scared of something that they don't understand.
Yeah.
Just like you're scared of skydiving because you don't. There's like nothing underneath my feet.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
we're scared of typically we're scared of things that we don't get, we don't
Hmm.
understand. I hike and I camp. A lot of people I talk to say, "Oh, I'm scared of bears." Well, you're scared of bears because you think that you've kind of heard that perception, but the reality is that you're more likely to die of a tick bite,
Right.
which is very real, by the way,
I'm scared of ticks. I'm scared.
than you are a bear. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
just,
Right. Right.
again, we're just scared of things that typically that we don't understand. So probably have a fear of like a cryptocurrency that again, kind of going back to my first answer, it doesn't seem like it's backed by anything,
Uh-huh.
which, we can argue that the dollar is not
Right.
backed by anything.
Right.
But it's not backed by anything. If the worst were to happen, I'm literally just going to lose my investment. When the
Yep.
worst would happen in real estate, there's still a tangible asset there. Say the market takes a 50-60% dip, like completely caves.
Hmm.
I still have a hard asset that I can rent out. I still have
Right.
something that can produce cash flow for me. So that doesn't really exist, and not just with cryptocurrency. That doesn't exist with the stock market.
Right.
So my current understanding of cryptocurrency is that it's highly volatile,
Hmm.
wild swings,
Wild. Wow.
um, and and it's not backed by anything. And
Got
the
it.
government could come in if they wanted to and heavily regulate it. They could start their own thing, and those are kind of my hesitancies of investing. I wouldn't mind investing, money I can afford to lose
Hmm.
into something like that, but taking like a large percentage of what I have to invest into something that I don't understand is
Yeah.
probably something I'm not willing to do, at least not at
Got
this point.
So I think the challenge here is to try to convince you to invest a little money into crypto. I think that would probably be my challenge. I'm not sure if you'd like to accept that or not, but let's see if we could get there. Do you have any money invested in crypto?
Zero.
$0 invested in crypto. Okay, so maybe I could ask you some kind of basic questions, right? What do you think about, let's say, Tesla investing into Bitcoin? These big companies investing huge sums of money into Bitcoin. What do you think about that?
I think that Tesla did correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Tesla didn't Elon Musk invest a lot into Bitcoin and then he pulled everything out?
No, that's incorrect. Yeah, so he invested a lot into crypto or in Bitcoin, and then he started talking like Bitcoin in a negative light. But he didn't sell any of his Bitcoin. He didn't do any of that stuff. He's still into it.
Okay.
Him personally and Tesla
Okay.
as a corporation.
I think that it's there's to me it sounds like you've got a super incredibly wealthy person
Hmm.
who invests a lot of money, which is a lot of money to maybe me and you, but it's probably not a lot of money to him. And
Right,
it's
right.
money that he feels like he could maybe afford to lose, but he's also educated in the market and he's done his research and he feels like that there is some upside there.
Hmm.
And that's cool. Great for him. I don't discredit it.
Right.
I don't. It's kind of like a social proof thing. It's like you see everybody jumping off a bridge. Are you going to go do it too?
Right.
Well,
Right.
if
Right. Right.
everybody else is doing it
Okay.
and they're living to tell
Yeah.
about it, maybe I will do it.
So do you take that as like the same as like hedge funds? For anyone who's watching, hedge fund is basically a person or a group of people who control a bunch of money for other people, and those other people are telling them, okay, hey, can you invest this for us and make us some money? So do you think that same way for hedge funds? Like they're responsible, they're not wealthy themselves. Well, they probably are wealthy themselves, but they're responsible for other people's money. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I come with a real estate background. I've dealt with hedge funds who are buying a
Hmm.
lot of property these
Hmm.
days, and have been for the past many years. And I know that sometimes hedge funds they end up getting held with the bag. They kind of end up getting held with the bag of dynamite, and stuff ends up blowing up in their face too. I've seen that. That kind of is what happened in 2008.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, it's again, it's significant. It means it's not insignificant. It means something. I don't know that that's the social proof that I need and I would require. Again, I don't know that I'm against putting, a few $1,000s into something. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm against that.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm for putting large sums of money into something that I just don't know a whole lot about.
Got it. So, so when we talk large sums of money, like we had a conversation earlier, guys. If you're watching this, and I have the market cap for Bitcoin, it's the biggest, um, ninth biggest asset class in the world. Okay, you've got gold number one at 10 trillion or 11 trillion, Apple, Microsoft, then Google, then like an oil company, Amazon, silver, Facebook is number eight, then Bitcoin. Then number nine is Tesla. Number 11 is Berkshire Hathaway. So uh, maybe help me to understand like your mindset here, right? Um, do you look at Bitcoin like in comparison to these other asset classes, like say Tesla, Facebook, or is it just something completely other? Like,
Yeah.
is it like, do you invest in stocks? Like, help me to understand like a little more of your mindset towards Bitcoin.
Well, for me, I'm a real estate guy. I think Warren Buffett said this to you. We recorded a show earlier for my channel. Warren Buffett said, "Invest in what you know." And
Hmm.
if you know Bitcoin and you really understand it, then I encourage you to invest in something like that. And my background is real estate. I've been in real estate for over 9 years now, and I feel really comfortable with certain aspects of real estate that I'm glad to put way more money into than some other folks that might not be as comfortable because they don't have the knowledge.
Hmm.
So, but when it comes specifically, you're reading off that list
Hmm.
again. It goes back to it's so volatile.
Mm.
You named off all those things like gold and
Yeah.
Facebook and Amazon and Tesla. You're not seeing wild swings in any of those things. Like, and I don't have the data in front of me, and this is all hearsay. This is just what I hear other people talking about.
Yeah.
But I would like to see just a graph of where Bitcoin has been just in the past 12 months. I mean,
Gotcha.
hasn't it been as high as 60,000 and as low as 10,000?
It
I
has.
mean,
Yes. Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
that's pretty wild.
It's a wild ride. It's funny.
Everything else you just named is not going to have a graph that looks anywhere remotely close to
Nowhere.
that. That's
Nowhere.
scary as an
Yeah.
investor.
It is. It is. There's this guy. There's a whole bunch of like what are called like Bitcoin philosophers now. I'm not sure if that's even like the best term. It's kind of like a silly term to me. Um, but some of the things that they say, right? That for me, what I've learned and everyone knows I'm brand new to crypto, right? I'm not this crypto expert. I'm not an expert in crypto like you are in real estate. Okay. So this is like from one newbie to another. But from what I understand of crypto, it's still brand new to everything. And anything that's brand new is like experience. There's market discovery and they try to find out where the volatility is or where that price is. That's why the volatility, everyone doesn't know what to properly price this at. So that's my kind of understanding for
Yeah.
crypto. But maybe I could ask you a question. What would have to happen for you to start taking a look at Bitcoin seriously? Like, what are the world's like what stars would have to line up for you to like, okay, I'm pushing down you know some big money into Bitcoin?
I think it would like big money. I think for me, the only way would be that the U.S. government has come out and has said we are now acknowledging Bitcoin specifically as not maybe not replacement, maybe that's not the right word, but
Mm-hmm.
we're acknowledging it as something that the government is going to get behind and we're going to push out there. um and we've like given it our stamp of approval, and this is the one that we are going to get behind, or whatever it may be. I don't know that the dollar is ever going to go away,
Right,
but
right.
but I mean, some people could probably argue that for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know that the dollar is ever going to go away as the world's currency. But if the world current if the world got together and there was one currency, I can definitely see that being a cryptocurrency. I get it, like I
Yeah.
understand it from that standpoint. But it would have to be like, here's the currency. This is what
Right.
it is, and this is what we've all decided on. And then I'd get behind it, just like everyone else is going to get behind it. And I'm going to miss that boat, that early kind of boat, and I get that. I'm okay with that. I invested in Facebook long time ago. Not a lot of money, but I'm talking about, like, was it 2007? I can't remember for what year it was.
Good for
2007,
you.
2008.
Wow.
But no, insignificant amount of money. Obviously, I've done really well on it,
Uh-huh.
but that's something I was using it. Like I got it. I understood it. I understood where the kind of the world was going when it came to
Oh,
social media, because I was
okay.
using social media as kind of like a younger, Gen Xer. I think I was 20, 5, 26, 27 at the time. Like I got it. I understood it when a lot of Wall Street might not have gotten it. And actually,
Mm,
I remember completely made fun of it. Actually, completely made fun of the fact that
interesting.
Facebook was coming out with the IPO and all this stuff. So not a stock guy at all, but that's something I recognize because I was using it. And I'm sure that there are people that are completely behind blockchain, the technology, certain cryptocurrencies. They're behind it because they get it, and I do get it. Again, my problem is the government can come in and just boom, shut it down
Gotcha.
in one fell swoop, and that could happen literally anytime.
Gotcha. So you mentioned a few things here, right? You mentioned if the whole world started using it. So that to me is like adoption, right? Like the whole world started using it. And then you said the government, right? They're two different things, right? The whole world can use it, but the government might not like it. Um,
Well, they can
and
shut it down. They can regulate it.
well, yeah, they could 100%. And I think, and everyone in the crypto community is for regulation, right? We're not like against like Bitcoin being regulated. Actually, we want the regulation because that'll show like, okay, where's the line drawn, right? What we're scared of is the government coming in and drawing a line and then moving that line around. And so like if we're going down the line of like doing things with crypto, like, hey, the government said this like arbitrarily, like, why are you setting up these rules and all this kind of stuff? It's kind of, you don't understand what's happening. But one thing I noticed about you, Brian, is that you seem to be like a very practical, down to earth. Let me use it. I need it in my brain, right? I could use a house. I could go there and put my hands on the wall. I own this piece of property. Or Facebook, even digitally, like, I'm using this thing. I get it. And then, so I think when you get it conceptually, but you've just never sent Bitcoin or received Bitcoin. Is that about fair?
And that's fair. But again, that it's I don't require in my mind. I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense, but I don't require in my mind to be able to touch something to be able to invest in it.
Okay.
Like I understand the technology. I understand. Like I believe wholeheartedly that one day there is the way that let's just talk about the United States. The
Yeah.
way that the U.S. the fiat dollar that's going to continue to, like, inflation is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Like I get crypto, and I wholeheartedly believe that it is the future.
Hmm.
But it's like who's to say it's going to be Bitcoin? Who's to say it's going to be any of these other coins? It's probably not going to be any of them, to be honest. It's probably going to be something that the government's going to come up with, and that's going to be the currency.
Got it.
And
So
that's going to be what I'm going to want to get behind because it's going to be the currency.
got it. Got it. So it's not really adoption, right? So it's all on whether or not the government can say we're done with crypto, or we're all about crypto. Like it's
Is
like,
so, Aaron, this is where I don't know what I don't know.
okay,
This is my hang up.
yeah.
Is this something that's in the community, in the crypto community? Is this something that gets talked about? Is
The,
this
the,
something that's a worry or a concern of people?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. I think different levels of investors, or different risk tolerances of investors, they're concerned about the government and not concerned about government. The reason why I think it's a little more lax though in the crypto, from my point of view, is that crypto is a permissionless technology. And what that means is that it's very, very hard, like to regulate something that's just a protocol. Um, and right now we can't conceptually get that right. They could shut down certain websites. They can shut down certain, even corporations and businesses, but they literally cannot turn off Bitcoin. There's literally zero way you can totally ban and turn off Bitcoin. If the worst case scenario happens, which in my opinion is you can't go on any Bitcoin website, you can't download any crypto wallet, you can't do any of it. That's the full blocking of the United States. They go full communist and they full shut down every entry point to Bitcoin. They can't turn it off. All you'd have to do is literally the worst case is go to another country if they block like IP addresses or whatever. If you have a wallet and you'll keep that Bitcoin forever. Right. If you could go to another country and you could use this, VPN or whatever, even if they block the VPN, right? Even if they do that, you'll never lose your crypto. They can never remove your crypto.
And I get that, but let me ask you this. Let's say the U.S. government specifically comes out with a cryptocurrency, their own thing.
Got it.
What kind of hit would Bitcoin take?
Zero.
So the value of a Bitcoin is going to remain unchanged, or it's going to go up. It's not
unchanged or go up.
Significantly down.
100%. And
why?
Here's why. When people, the whole spirit of crypto and blockchain is like this decentralized aspect, right? It's a decentralized thing. No one can mess with it. That's the whole like spirit of it. That's why I wear a cowboy hat. We're out here in the Wild West. It's just like this Wild West decentralized. When a government comes in and tries to do something funny and establish their own cryptocurrency, I'm not even sure if they can. They could still mess with the code and they could still own rights to it. They can't. They could still mess with the code, but it also takes adoption. It's just like if the Fed came out and they inserted a new dollar, a new type of currency into the market. Will people use it? Will people start accepting it? I mean, maybe there's some small adoption, but in that case, it's like China is doing it right now. China is trying to digitize the yuan, right? The yuan, and so they're trying to create their own Chinese cryptocurrency, and they're trying to ban Bitcoin. They're banning all the miners. They're banning Bitcoin. Like what you're saying is happening actually right now in China.
Right. But that would never happen in the United States. Obviously, we're not a communist country, and I don't think it's going to get to that point where they're going to ban Bitcoin. I think the government, though, first of all, I don't trust the government about anything. Zero.
No one in crypto does either. No.
I have zero trust in the government. I used to study JFK back when I was in high school. And
college. You're down the road. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah.
And zero trust in the government. No.
Got it.
That's why I'm not getting vaccinated because I don't trust the government.
Got it.
It doesn't matter who's in office. I don't trust the government, period.
I got you.
If they would have come out and just not lied about a lot of this vaccination stuff, no one would have argued with it. Everybody would be vaccinated. But anyway, sorry.
There's a lot of line. There's a lot of line for sure.
Sorry. But here's the problem. The U.S. government will not shut down Bitcoin. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
But what very well could happen is they come out with their own thing or digitize the dollar, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They could definitely do that. And it's not a matter of if my dollar is now digitized, that's something that again, my opinion, that's something that I feel like the country would get behind as a whole, the majority, I should say. Of course, there's going to be people out there who's like, I don't want the government involved in this. I want to stay with my Bitcoin. There's going to be people like that. But for you to sit here and say that Bitcoin specifically is not going to take a major hit in its value after the government digitized the dollar, I think that's way off. I think Bitcoin would just crash.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it won't be around anymore, but I think it's going to completely crash.
Yeah, I think that's based on the perception that um, I think that's based on the perception that that Bitcoin or that the dollar is then more trustworthy when it's on the blockchain, when it's on a blockchain technology, right? Blockchain, for anyone who's watching, it's immutable. It can't be changed. There can't be any surplus. There can't be any counterfeits, and it can be moved. It can't be inflated, right?
And that's why the dollar never will be digitized, by the way.
Right,
For all
right,
those reasons, because the
right.
government won't be able to manipulate it.
You're 100% right. So what I hear you say is that USA will never completely ban Bitcoin. USA will never digitize the dollar because they don't control it, right? Even if they do, and they come out with something like that, I'm not sure. Okay, so maybe I'll back up and I'll be a little more conservative. Maybe Bitcoin will take some kind of fluctuation hits, but Bitcoin is such a massive player. Like it's the staple, massive player in cryptocurrency by a long shot. It's like 3 times Ethereum right now, probably more. And which is Ethereum is the second closest. So, um, so if the government won't ban Bitcoin and it won't digitize the dollar, what does that say about your fear rather? Like, hey, what is the doomsday scenario that you're really kind of describing for me?
I don't know. Again, it goes back to like my distrust of the government. I don't think that they've ever just come like right out. Very, very few things they've come right out and banned, because that's not how the United States is really kind of set up.
Right.
Unless it goes to the Supreme Court and they end up banning this thing, but which I can't even imagine is possible. But I don't know. Again, it goes back to that fear thing. It goes back to like I don't know. You have to think that the government is going to get involved at some point, probably soon, sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think that the government is going to want to be in control of this, or at least heavily regulate it.
For sure. They're gonna. That's the beautiful thing, I think, is that they want all the control. So my deep dive in learning into crypto has taken me into learning about money in general. And if you want to get some conspiracy theories, I've been wanting to get this out in a video, so maybe this is a good way to just maybe tease
let's
it.
Go.
So like, there's this theory, right? Or it's called the dollar milkshake theory. Have you heard of it? So here's essentially what it is, and I'm not sure how much credibility of it, but this I could explain it really quickly. The whole world trades on the dollar, right? Saudi Arabia trades with Chinese. They trade in dollars because why? Because you could trade the dollar has the most liquidity in the market. You could trade that anywhere. You could go anywhere with it. Now, what happens when the United States prints dollar bills is that they're printing dollars and they're giving it to the United States first. So the United States initially has all that buying power. Well, that stuff goes out overseas. And when whatever inflation we experience here in the United States, they're experiencing at a faster, bigger rate than we are, like 2x, 3x. And you could look at this in gas prices and food and housing. Whatever we experience here, it takes longer to get over there. That's why they're experiencing high inflation rates. Now, recently, El Salvador, a very small country compared to the United States, accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. Right now, the Ukraine is working on it too, and right now, I think another country is looking at it as well. When a country stops, what happens when a country stops deciding to use the dollar bill? Well, I'll tell you, Venezuela did that, Cuba did that, and look, and their economies, their GDP, that stuff tanks. However, what happens when a lot of these countries get off the dollar? These countries that are tired of being inflated, they have no manipulation over their own markets. The United States is pumping, and they're manipulating all the world's markets. What happens when all of them start getting mass adopted into what currency? What currency could we do? The pound? No. The yuan? No. But Bitcoin might offer that solution. And so what El Salvador did is it's kind of like a threat, right? They can't even ask for loans from the government. They don't even like them anymore, right? Because they're now on Bitcoin. So here's the theory. That what happens when all of those countries if multiple countries start accepting Bitcoin, let's say 100 years from now, right? Your children would still be alive, God willing, my children, hopefully. that all that cash will come back into the United States because no one wants it anymore. And then you see this like paper, this all this, those wheelbarrows that people are walking down the streets with cash. That's what people think is going to happen. This is the dollar milkshake theory, that all that kind of stuff comes flushing in back to the United States, because we've just overproduced, all this paper money that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think about that, first of all, and then I'll get into.
Well, I run around in a lot of, real estate circles where people talk about inflation and they talk about the ramifications of inflation a lot. And I completely believe that at some point, the dollar is going to be worthless. Like I believe that.
Wow.
I believe, but at that point, I mean, this is where you start talking about all these theories. At that point, it's like, well, look, the U.S. government can create a new currency. I doubt it would be a cryptocurrency because they can't control it, can't manipulate it. But let's just start a new currency. We're going to start over.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a money expert. I can recommend a couple that you might be able to get on your show, and they could really dig into this subject.
Yeah,
but I can definitely see a scenario where the dollar is just completely worthless.
Could you see that in 100 years, or
I could see that in 30 years.
30 years. So here's why I got into crypto, and then let's wind down this video here. But here's why I got into crypto. My goal for the YouTube channel, I started 6 months ago. I had $0 in crypto. I wanted to earn 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin to me represented a couple of things. One, it represented like a big benchmark. I feel like in the future, people will be known as, Bitcoinaires, right? Whole coiners, not like millionaires, billionaires, Bitcoinaires, because that thing will be worth something that's very, it'd be very valuable. The second thing is that if I don't use it all, I don't have to pay to keep up with it like a property, like real estate. I don't have to like tend to it like real estate. I don't have to pay property taxes like real estate. It's a stock. It's different. It's a stock for those reasons, yes, but it's different. But here's the thing: I could give it to my kids and my grandkids. Like here, you see The Office. Buy yourself a spaceship with this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to do with my cryptocurrency. It could last throughout time, throughout space, and no one can get it. And that's why I'm into it, personally. So if we were to answer like all those questions, right? If the government comes about with regulations saying, okay, this, and it'll be continue to be regulated. I mean, I think it would there's so many aspects of crypto. What is I know I asked this, but like in 30 years, what has to happen? Let's do this. What has to happen in the next year for you to start investing, let's say $10,000 in crypto?
I can't see a scenario.
I can't see a scenario. Not a single scenario. Man, hopefully I need to have you back on.
I'll tell you what, what's Bitcoin at right now?
42, 43, right around there. 43,000.
If it dips to 10,000 before the end of 2021, I'll tell you what, I'll buy a Bitcoin for 10,000. How about
if it dips? Okay. Well, that's a small win. That's a small
scenario.
Win. That's a small win for sure. I think it'll hit 100,000 by 2021. I think it'll hit 100,000.
By the end of the year, you think it's going to hit 100,000?
I know a lot of people want that. Let me rephrase it. I think it'll hit 90,000. I don't think it'll hit 100,000. I think people will sell off before that.
Really?
Yeah. I think
What's
so.
Didn't it got up to what?
65
something?
65. Yeah, 65.
But that was like what, 6 months ago?
That was 3 months ago, 4 months ago, probably Mayish. So yeah, about 3-4 months ago. And there's a lot of reasons, and we, like I said, we welcome the regulation. We want to see it regulated. We want to see it like, hey, we want people feeling comfortable. Hey, this is a legit thing. This is the 9th biggest asset class in the world. This is trillions of, billions of dollars into this thing. So we're super excited, and we want to win you over, Brian. We want to win you over. I want you to start using Bitcoin. I want someone to buy a property from you in an NFT. I want you to start using NFTs within the next 5 years.
Now listen, is this what you do too? You do NFTs?
Yeah.
You got NFTs on your channel? I literally have a conversation coming up in about 15 minutes with somebody who's going to talk to me about NFTs.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay, great. I mean, we need to have you all on. What the heck? Are you curious about crypto and Bitcoin and or blockchain and
Of
NFTs and
course.
stuff?
No, of course I am. NFTs, now that's interesting. I think that's way more interesting than crypto.
Okay.
Again, you have something tangible. You have something tangible here that you're buying and selling.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have a brand. Maybe not brand. Maybe that's not the right word. But you have
A deed. That's what an NFT is.
That's not. Yeah, but that's not what I'm. You have with an NFT, you have something that no one else has. It's
Yes.
almost like a way to show. It's almost like a way to flaunt like who you are and what you. It's like having this thing that no one else can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's something really interesting there. I don't think we've reached with, and I don't know enough about it, but I don't know that we've reached what it can be or what it will be, what the main use of it will be. But when we do, it's going to be enormous.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, wow.
Cryptocurrency, I don't know.
I
Not
see.
backed
I
by
see.
anything.
Those things are intimately locked, right? Crypto and NFTs, they're intimately
Only
locked.
by the technology, though.
Yeah, but that's a big thing.
You have something tangible versus something that's not tangible.
It's about as tangible as crypto is about as tangible as NFT, and we could go back and forth on this. And
I own something though. I own a real thing.
So is the crypto. So is the crypto.
But it's not. It's fake to me because it doesn't. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing like if I have something of value here that no one else has. Like everybody has a Bitcoin, right? In the community, if you're investing in it, everybody has a Bitcoin. I have this thing. I have this piece of art, whatever it is, that no one else has.
Let me correct the previous statement. Not everyone has a Bitcoin. There's only 21 million allowed in ever.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anybody could get a Bitcoin, is what I meant to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anybody can get a Bitcoin.
Okay,
Not anyone can get this one thing that I
have. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I know what you're saying. And I'll tell you what. Something that I'm really excited about NFTs, and we could wind this down here because I know you got a call here. But something about NFTs is like, so blockchain is the main technology behind everything, and an expression of that is cryptocurrency, right? That is an expression of the blockchain technology. So it's something like internet, right? Internet, and an expression of that is like websites. But another expression that could be like communication as whole. Okay, so blockchain, NFTs, I think you're right on, right? I think it's right on to be excited about. It's going to change the way real estate's done. It's going to change the way manufacturing's done. It's going to change the way
blockchain.
Blockchain. Yeah, blockchain.
Yeah, no. I'm all in on blockchain. I get it. I understand that. All in on it. I don't understand why there's a million different coins. I don't understand why there's a million different things. Like that is what is like anybody could come up with anything.
Yeah.
And it's not backed by anything. So that's my hang up.
Yeah. And that's true, right? Some coins are backed by real businesses, real teams, real vision, real motives, real technology. But on a blockchain, you could create another what's called a token. They're not really coins; they're called tokens, and that could be your like Shiba Inus, your dogolons, and all that kind of stuff. So there are thousands of cryptocurrencies, but one's a coin, one's a token. Okay, so that's like some technical stuff, right? But what I'm trying to say is that these other ones, you don't want to get into that. Those aren't the ones where you preserve your wealth in. The ones where like that aren't. You're right, not that aren't backed by anything. But these other ones with real technology, like these blockchains, they're run. So if you buy an NFT, it's located on a blockchain like Ethereum.
I get it.
So you'd be incentivized if you like NFTs. You'd be incentivized to buy more Ethereum because they go hand in hand. It's like you can't separate the NFT from the blockchain, and the blockchain goes right into the cryptocurrency.
Do we have to go, or can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is every NFT you can only buy an NFT with crypto?
Yes. Yes. You can't buy NFTs without crypto.
I there's something here. So does every NFT is on a blockchain of that specific crypto?
And every NFT is on a blockchain, yes, of a specific crypto. Yes.
Why can't it be on its own blockchain?
Because there is no it can't be. Because the blockchain is like, yeah.
But why can't block and this is just I don't know what I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
Why like I am a big believer in the fact that because I'm a real estate guy, the fact that a deed to a house is going to be I can see the history of it. I don't need title insurance anymore.
Right.
Because I can see it with my own eyes how it's been passed down.
Yep.
Why is that not on its own blockchain separate from a cryptocurrency? Why does it have to be associated with a cryptocurrency? Why can't it be its own blockchain technology only associated with house deeds in this city?
Yeah, because
why can't an NFT, a group of NFTs or whatever, be on its own thing?
Yeah, because the NFT is an expression of blockchain technology. You can't have a blockchain. So you're saying why does a cryptocurrency have to be attached to a blockchain? Is because
No.
Okay.
No, I get why it has to be or why it's good for it to be associated with a blockchain. Why does the blockchain so why does anything besides a cryptocurrency have to be associated with that cryptocurrency's blockchain?
Anything besides a cryptocurrency have to be associated with it? It's
because I've bought it with that, and so it's a part of that cryptocurrency's blockchain?
Yes. Yeah. So an NFT, there are certain types of NFTs, just like there are certain types of coins, right? In crypto, we call them ERC20 coins, right? So like for Ethereum, that's an ERC20 coin. For Binance, it's another blockchain. It's a BEP20 coin, whatever, this technical stuff. But when you buy an NFT, like say a deed to the house, you have to make that on a particular blockchain. You can't make it without it. There's no possible way, because it's the technology for blockchain is to create something that no one else has, that it can't be removed and it can't be changed. So the expression is money, but you could express it in NFTs.
Why can't you start your own blockchain?
Oh yeah, you definitely can. You need developers, you need coders, you need people who know the solidity. So yeah,
why can't I start my own? If say I'm a city organizer, I'm a mayor, I'm a governor of a city of a state, or I'm a mayor of a city. Why can't I have this specific city blockchain that I start, and it's obviously not going to happen overnight, but I'm going to every deed to every home that's in this city is going to be a part of this blockchain.
Yeah, you for sure could. And I think that's what you look if you do a deep dive into the teams behind these different blockchains like Ethereum, you'll see that they were created by these developers, right? One was created by like a 20-year-old. The Ethereum was created by 3 people, a 20-year-old, a guy named Charles Hoskinson, like these brilliant developers. And then they split up and they create their own blockchain. So,
but Aaron, this is what I'm saying though. To me, this is the future. To me,
the
future is like a state is going to have its own blockchain.
Yeah, so
for its real estate.
That's not going to happen. And the reason why is because for the spirit of crypto is essentially like a global economy, right? You wouldn't want to create the Florida dollar, right? That's only usable by Florida in Florida. It doesn't make too much sense. You'd want an asset that is you could use anywhere in the world. That's what gives it the adoption, the more use case of it. That's what gives it value.
Okay, so I hear where you're going.
Yeah.
But so for example, if I go out and I buy this house over here with a Bitcoin, and I go out here and I buy this house with Ethereum, I go out here and buy this house with another one, and this house with there's so much. It's so segmented and fragmented
Okay.
The currencies are so fragmented. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's the difference between saying,
And
"Hey,
that's why I feel like I think my overall fear is that's why I feel like the US government has to get involved in almost like either anoint one that's already in existence or start their own, which I don't really see happening. They could, um, but it's so fragmented. You would have different all these different assets in all these different blockchains. That seems so. So for me to go and buy this particular house, I have to do it with Ethereum.
yeah, yeah, for
But I
sure."
got a whole bunch of Bitcoin. So what?
Yeah,
I got to sell my Bitcoin and get Ethereum and go buy this house.
yeah, and I think that's
Come on,
fair,
man.
but that already exists, right? Like if you go to a Chinese website, you'd have to spend, I'm not sure if they take the US dollar,
I
you'd have
get
to.
it. I get that.
Even
So,
PayPal like
but what
accepts different currencies, like so you pay in different currencies, Venmo different currencies. So that's just what's going on now. Some people will value different currencies in a different light.
is the future not that there's going to be one global currency? Is that not agreed upon in the
You know,
community?
that's definitely where people are theorizing. Is it actual? No, I don't think it's going to go one global currency. It could. That's where people theorize that kind of stuff. Like these eggheads, they probably get down that hole. But I think that the future is a multi-blockchain future, meaning
Hmm.
all these different blockchains will be working together. There's what's called bridges. So you could bring one type of coin over into another blockchain into another one.
Hmm.
So just the technology of blockchain is like there's these different, intranets like blockchain, these technologies,
Hmm.
and there are bridges in between them called interoperability. It's a big word, right? Just basically you're hopping from one chain to another.
Hmm.
So yeah, essentially you could use Ethereum on another blockchain, another one. So yeah, I mean, the future is definitely meshing together, meshing
Interesting.
together.
Fascinating,
Yeah.
fascinating topic,
So,
Aaron.
oh man, we got to have you on again. I love your questions and I love your enthusiasm for NFTs. It's actually very interesting how you're able to hold, in my opinion, contradictions together. These are just my opinion. I know that it's not contradictions in your brain, but for me,
Because I
it's
don't
like,
understand how it all works. I don't
yeah,
understand
I
how
think
the blockchain works, I guess.
and I'd love to continue this conversation. Guys, if you are watching this video this far, look, Brian has his own YouTube channel. His links are in the description. He specializes in business development, investing, and real estate. So be sure to check out his stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel and check out all of his links down below. Anyway, Brian, thanks so much for joining me. This has been a fascinating conversation.
Aaron, you're awesome. Thank you so much for indulging me with a
Of
lot of my
course, of course.
theories and questions. I
Of
appreciate it.
course, guys, we went down the rabbit hole. You can't overthink this. Crypto is very simple, right? Don't overthink it. Have a lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands. Okay, we're just a bunch of cowboys exploring the wildest of cryptocurrency. We'll see you guys later.